Hi, this is Marina J. Do you have a pattern of overgiving in your relationships and under receiving? If you do, this is for you. So if you think about when you were in this relationship, if anybody's in a relationship with a narcissist, a toxic person, even an emotionally immature person where it's all about them but not about you, what usually happens is that you often are blamed, scapegoated, they get angry at you, they don't even really see you. And so usually what kicks in is you trying harder. You try even harder to make them see that it wasn't your fault, you're not to blame. And what you find is you might be the sort of person that has grown up and you're so used to trying to make them see from all different sides. So you'll come at them and you'll be overly articulate. You'll explain it to them this way and they still don't get it. They're still blaming you, or so you explain it to them this way and they still don't get it and they're blaming you. So you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna show them this, and they still don't get it. And you're like, all right, well, maybe they'll have empathy for me and I'm going to show them how hurt I am, or how physically my body is damaged, or surely that will kick in their empathy. Surely that will kick in the love that they have for me. Surely that will kick in the reasonable behavior that I know is there. And so we get very used to over explaining ourselves in these narcissistic relationships that frankly give almost nothing back. What they give back is abuse, pain, right? All of the above, all of it, right? All of it, all of it, all of it. And so if you're somebody that's had this narcissistic abuse long after you've walked away, you might find that in relationships, you're still overgiving, you're still carrying that pattern. And you're still over caring, over supporting. You are highly sensitive to how they're feeling. And if there's even a change of expression on their face, you're immediately worried that it's you. You're going to blame yourself. You're immediately thinking, how can I make them happy again? How can I fix it for them? And you take the burden of the relationship on. So instead of just doing your half of the relationship, you're actually doing their half as well. And because you've had narcissistic abuse where you wouldn't have received much, you don't expect much, you actually have very little needs. So for you in relationships, you're used to having very little needs. So you don't ask, you don't take up space, you don't just stay with yourself and how you feel. You're constantly jumping out of yourself to be with the other person. This is what I call the narcissistic template, where we're no longer with the narc, but we're still carrying some of that imprinting through into healthy relationships where we are overgiving at our expense because we don't even realize we're doing it because it was so normalized with a narcissist. So if that's you, part of the healing, part of you flourishing after narcissistic abuse without beating yourself up is to recognize it and say, wow, I'm still kind of on tenterhooks. I'm still kind of tense when I'm around people because I'm so used to them leaving me. I'm so used to them abandoning me when I need help. I'm so used to them being angry with me or blaming me or doing the silent treatment or, having zero empathy for me that in my mind, I have to be on my A game. In my mind, I have to overgive to maintain a relationship, which is exhausting, which is why it's so much easier to be on your own. Because for you, relationships equal hard work and not much coming back. I have to pedal hard. I have to pedal hard for my clients. I have to really do a lot in my job. I have to really try hard in all my relationships, and quite frankly, I'm exhausted and I don't want to do it. That's the narcissistic template where you're still carrying that through. So if this is you, just know it for what it is. And especially if you're like, God, I always give. I'm always there emotionally for my friends. They can come to me, they can talk to me about their problems. But whenever I have a problem, there's no one there for me. There's nothing there. And that's because that template's wrapped around your relationships. And somehow you've set that up without even realizing it. You might have picked people that are emotionally unavailable, right? They can't carry that depth that you have, right? So part of it is healing that. And if you can start to recognize, where am I over explaining myself? And this is another thing, right? Start to recognize, where am I over talking? Where am I over explaining myself? Where am I already assuming that I'm going to have to work hard in this relationship? That is what needs to be healed in you, so that relationships take up less energy, less effort, and frankly, are an absolute joy to be in, because you shouldn't have to work hard in a relationship. You shouldn't have to be on your A game all the time. Love is unconditional. That means you don't have to have the answers. You don't have to overgive. In fact, you can undergive and still be completely loved and accepted just as you are. I find that a lot of people who have had narcissistic abuse are very articulate, because they've had to try and explain themselves for so long to people that have no interest in actually what the truth is. They don't want the truth. They just want their truth. That you've become very articulate in working hard and over explaining yourself from all the angles, which is very useful in some areas of your life. But if that's constantly what you're doing, that's a very exhausting place as well for you to be. Because if you have to work hard in any relationship, it's not a relationship. It's not a relationship. And if you try not working so hard in a relationship, just see what happens. Just see what happens. You might go, well, they don't call me to go out. If I don't call, if I don't organize it, if I'm not there for them when they've got a problem, they're not interested. Well, was it a relationship really in the first place then? And on the flip side, the less you overgive, the more you're going to see the truth of this relationship that you're in, whether it's platonic, whether it's romantic, whatever that is. And then you'll know. Then you'll actually know if this is true, genuine love. Stop giving yourself a hard time. Relationships, the right relationships, they don't actually take hard work. That might be an unpopular opinion. I might do a video on that another time. They don't take hard work. When you're with the right people, you don't have to work hard. All you have to do is be you, just as you are, in whatever mood you're in, whatever energy level you're in. And when you honor your energy level, the right people will honor it too. I hope this really, really supports you, beautiful soul, on your healing journey. Lots of love.